Patrick Cook here. So welcome to session 47 of our Mastering Mandelbulb 3D Formula tutorial series. The last session I had tripped across a formula configuration, a parameter set up on Mandelbulb3D Maniac's website. I pulled it in and I've discovered that it's a DEcombinate. So hey, how cool is that? Let's take a look. I'm going to turn off this web browser here to get that out of our way. Let's see what we got. We definitely know it's a DEcombinate because that's the tab that's selected here. I've got a string cage IFS. Now in DEcombinate, all right, if you recall, DEcombinate, we have two sequences that are defined by this demarcation value. So formula 1 comprises sequence 1. Sequence 2 is defined by formula slot 2 and 3. All right. So what we can do is, let's go over to formula 1 and let's modify the configuration count from 2 to, I don't know, 5. Let's see what happens. Not a whole lot is happening, I can tell. Not a whole lot is happening. Now, in order for me to understand what a SVI cage IFS is, I can either go look it up or I can isolate it by dropping into the alternate hybrid mode, turning off all the other formulas, and then running that one to see what it looks like. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to alternate, and I'm going to go to formula 2 and turn it off. I'm going to go to formula 3 slot, turn it off. Okay, the only formula that's remaining here is this one. I'm going to calculate it. So whatever's showing up here is what the SVI cage IFS looks like. And that is a shape formula. We already determined that. So the point being here is that you either go look up what the shape looks like with its default values, properties, or you isolate it, drop into alternate mode because you know that's layering. All right, turn off all the other formulas. Don't delete them, just turn off their iteration count. Run it, and then you can see what you got. So that is what SPH cage IFS looks like entirely on its own. I'm going to turn off the cage. I'm going to turn on the Menger Plus. Let's run that. See what it looks like. So there's our Menger. You see? All right, I'm going to turn off Menger. I think you're getting the point. Here, integer power. You know what that looks like, right? All right, well, that's our integer power that's very much zoomed in, but that looks familiar to you. So the point I wanted to make here is that we went and we found somebody's DEcombinate. We ran it. It looks very interesting. All right, and then, but because there's a mathematical modifications that are happening with the DEcombinate, it's very difficult for us to really see what those individual formulas shapes look like. So we dropped down into the alternate hybrid mode, and we isolated them, and now we get another picture as to what these formulas look like. All right, so I'm going to restore this online. I'm going to stop that and get us to 800. Okay, now let's just kind of wrap our heads around all of this. As a matter of fact, I think we're done in looking at other people's work, because again, now the last 5 or 6 sessions, I've not been interested in the creative application of what we've been talking about in this tutorial series. I've been more interested in tips and tricks to utilize the tool so that you can use the formula-related tools to understand better other people's work, how they structured it, what kind of rules they broke, and the impact that you can have on it by adding formulas or modifying formula conditioners, such as iteration count. You could modify our bailout. You can do all kinds of things where you're working with somebody else's work and you're extending it and modifying somebody else's work. All right? So the whole idea here is don't be afraid to go get somebody else's work. It's very, very easy and simple to load it in, the whole parameter set, and take that opportunity to see what they did and how they did it, and then use that as a springboard to go modify it and make your own creation as a starting point from somebody else's work. I would just say, look, don't run with it, somebody else's work, and call it your own. You're kind of cheating yourself if you do that. I don't think anybody's going to be going to court over anything like that, but you're kind of cheating yourself if you do that. All right? So use your formula-related tools. Use them to learn and be creative as you go. All right? All right. I think that puts us in pretty good shape in terms of looking at other people's work. Why don't we end this session here and we will move on. Okay? I'll catch you in the next session.